Hello and welcome everyone. I'm so glad that we are meeting for the fifth session on Python fundamentals, and the topic which we are going to cover today is expressions. And I hope that you all are following my blog nopythonbytes.blogspot.com for the PDF files for all these videos from where I am explaining you, and for different quizzes which I have uploaded very recently. Let's move on. Expressions. Expressions are what? Types of expressions, data type conversions, implicit type conversion, explicit type conversion, and working with math module. These are the learning outcomes of this video session, and we are going to learn about all these topics. What is an expression? Expression is actually a combination of atom plus operators. Now, what are atoms? An atom is something that has a value, identifiers, literals, strings, lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries, all these objects. They can be termed as an atom. An atom is something that has some value. And along with that, if we add up operators, so you get an expression. So expression is actually referred as a valid combination of operators and atoms. An expression is composed of one or more operations. Let us see the different types of expressions. Then you can understand better what are expressions. Arithmetic expressions. So for example, 5 plus 8. So you are using the atoms, the variables, the operators, the operator which you are using plus over here. 5 and 8 are the operands, the values which you are adding. So this is an arithmetic expression. Similarly, this is a relational expression. Then using or and not, they are logical expressions, and some string expressions. Now string has two special operators with which we can work: plus and into. Plus concatenates values. I have shown it earlier in data type string when I was explaining you that plus it just concatenates or joins the two strings without any space in between. And into, if you give any number, it replicates the string that many times which you have mentioned. Like India into 3 you have given, so the string India will be replicated thrice in the output, as you can see. So these are the different types of expressions. Data type conversions. Now what are data type conversions? Data type conversions, the process of converting any value of one data type to another data type. Like suppose you have learned the data types integer, string, float. Now you want a particular variable which is of string type to be converted to a float type, or maybe a float type to be of string type, or a float type to be of integer type, or from a string to integer or string to float, like that. So when you are trying to convert one data type to another, any value you are trying to convert, any operand's value or any object you are trying to convert it to another object, a data type, then that is known as type conversion. Now Python has two kinds of type conversion: implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. So let's see what are these. Implicit type conversion, where Python automatically converts one data type to another data type without any involvement of the user. So no user intervention will be there. Python interpreter will do it automatically itself. I is equal to 10. Let's see the example. F is equal to 2.34. We have taken two variables. One is integer. F we have taken as float. Sum is equal to I plus F. So data type of I is what? If you print type I, so type returns you the class that is the data type. So it will show you data type of I is int, data type of F is float. Now you are adding 2 here, and now if you print the value, you will get a floating point number. How you are getting a floating point number? That means 10 has been converted to 10.0 in the memory, and then that has been added with 2.34. So that is why you are getting 12.34. So internally, andari andar, that interpreter has changed converted the data type of I to integer to float and then added. So data type of sum you will get as float. Now what happens in case of explicit type conversion? In case of explicit type conversion, user converts the data type of an object to required data type. That is, programmer's intervention is a must. So whatever the programmer wants, it will be changed to that type as per the programmer's wish. So we can use the predefined functions like int, float, string. So let us see. I is equal to 20, s equal to 45. So you have taken a string in double quotes, but it's a number actually inside double quotes. Now the data type of I is int. You can see the output. And the data type of s, it's string. That is before typecasting. That is, explicit type conversion is also known as typecasting. So now see, s is equal to int s. Now this line will convert the value of that string to numeric type. So now the 45 in double quotes will be converted to integer type. So now s will hold integer type value. So now if you check the data type of s, you will get integer, class int. So data type of s after typecasting is class int. So now you can add up one integer with another integer, and then the sum value which you are getting as 65 is having the data type also as int. So if you print the data type of sum, now you will get int only. So I hope this is clear, that explicit type conversion, which needs programmer's intervention. Moving on to math module, working with different functions under math module, math library, and working with that we will see a lot of mathematical functions inside that math module. So before we work on with the different functions of math module, you have to import this statements. You have to write this statement before using the following functions in the math module. That is, you have to write import math, and then you can use these functions. So I will show you an example. Let us first discuss a few functions. sqrt, this is used for square root. So see here the code I have given a snippet. Import math. So you have imported the math module, math library, and under which there are multiple functions. Like sqrt is a function which gives you the square root of the parameter or the argument which you are sending inside parenthesis. So math.sqrt, if you have given 25, so you are getting the value of under root 25, which is 5 in mathematics. So you are getting the value as 5.0. Again, math.pow. Now power function, it works as the power, is the same as you have done in exponentiation operator, that like 2 double star 4, that you can write, or you can use math.pow 2 comma 4, that is again 2 to the power 4. The value is 16, 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, so you get the answer as 16.0. So in the same way, power 2 to the power minus 4, so you get 0.0625 like this in mathematics. So you are getting the answer in Python as well. Now fabs function, it does the absolute function which you have learnt in mathematics. It gives you the absolute value which you say it in maths, like 18, you get 18.0, and for minus 18 also the magnitude of this 18.0 is returned. So even if you give a positive number or a negative number, you get a positive that magnitude of that particular parameter which you have sent, that is the object which you have sent, the value. Now moving on to the next example of floor and ceil functions under math module. So floor and ceil functions, what they do is, for example, floor functions and ceil functions, both they return an integer value. Now what kind of value it will return? Imagine that there is a room, and a room has a ceiling and a floor, right? So let us consider this question, math.ceil 2.7 and math.floor 2.7. So what will be the value of ceil? Ceil function, it returns the smallest integer but not less than the number which is given, and floor function returns the largest integer value not greater than the number given. So let us consider this. 2.7, you draw a y-axis and you imagine in that y-axis the 2.7 is in between 2 and 3. Now ceil is that if we consider this as a room, then within that room which integer number is at the ceiling of the given number in the question, that is which is the integer number which is greater than the number given 2.7 but less than all the other integer numbers. That is 3. 3 is the integer number which is greater than 2.7 but less than all other integers above it. And floor is, if it is a room between 2 and 3, then which integer comes at the floor of that. So at the floor you have the integer 2, that is the number which is less than the given number in the question, that integer number, that is 2, but which is more than any other number. So floor function returns the largest integer value, largest than any other number but not greater than the value given in the question. So 2 is that number. So अगर हम इसको एक रूम की तरह माने और माने कि 2.7 इस रूम के अंदर है, तो इस रूम में सीलिंग पे कौन है, 3 है, और फ्लोर पे कौन है, 2 है. तो सिंपली आंसर क्या होगा, math.ceil अगर करेंगे तो 2.7 will give you value 3 and math.floor 2.7 will give you 2. Similarly, in case of minus any negative number also, the same way you consider it as minus 2 as a ceil and floor is at minus 3 and minus 2.7 lies in between. So the ceiling में you will get the value as minus 2. तो रूम में ऊपर कौन है, जो बड़ा है सबसे, minus 2.7 से minus 2 बड़ा है और minus 2.7 से minus 3 छोटा है, और minus 2 and minus 3 both are integer numbers, negative integers. So floor पे कौन है, minus 2.7 का अगर फ्लोर देखे तो वी हैव -3 एज द आंसर, एंड -2.7 का अगर सील देखे सीलिंग पे, छत पे, तो दैट इज -2. सो दिस इज व्हाट अबाउट योर फ्लोर एंड सील फंक्शंस. सो लेट अस सी वन एग्जांपल. Just to show you the importance of importing the math library. So when I started IDLE and I wrote math.sqrt25, so it has not returned me the answer square root of 25, which is 5, because it is asking me that math is not defined, so name error. So for this, let's write this statement, import math. So now if you write math.sqrt, you get the answer. So similarly, if I write math.ceil, let's take a number 200, suppose 45. Yeah, let's take 247. Okay. So what is there at the ceiling of 247? ऊपर कौन सा वैल्यू है, that is 200. Let's take 2. Yeah. So 247.2 lies in between 247 and 248. तो ऊपर कौन है, 248, और नीचे कौन है फ्लोर पे, 247 है ना. And if we write math.ceil only 247, you will get that only. And math. So math.ceil of 247 is also 247 and math.floor 247 is also 247. But if I am using with a decimal value, then it is very easy to understand the work of ceil and floor. And let's take a negative number, math.ceil. Let's take this number itself, minus 247 point, let's take as 8. Okay. So minus 247.8 lies in between which two number? Yes, minus 247.8 lies in between minus 247 and minus 248. So since minus 247.8 lies in between these two numbers, minus 247 and minus 248, so that is why at the floor you are getting this number and at the seal you are getting this number. See, minus 247 is greater than this, and minus 248 is less than this. So floor pe less number should stay. So I hope this is clear. Floor and seal functions. Few more functions are there, like expressions. Exponent function returns a natural logarithmic e raised to the power which is given as in the expression, and value of e we know is 2.718 scientific value. And sine and cos functions also you can use. Sine, and you give any number you will get the value. Math.cos, math.tan. So sine, cos, tan also you can use, because in Python we can use a lot of mathematical functions and you can do a lot of data analysis and computations and all. Again, log table, to get the natural logarithm for any number you can use a log function like this, and log 10 that returns the base 10 logarithmic for any number. And then degrees, which converts angle x from radians, and from radians to angle we can use radians function. So anyhow, let us finally see application of math module functions in mathematical expressions. So I have given few examples, like this is a very known example of acceleration, you know, you've learnt in science and physics. So ut plus half ft square, if you want to express it in Python, then u into t plus 1/2 into f into t into t, and 1/2 you can write it as 0.5 also. And another alternative way is u into t plus half into f into, now this t square you can write either mat.pow t to the power 2, and you can also write t star 2, but again a lot of star will be there, so that will confuse you. And then another example is e to the power 2y minus x, and all inside this mod. This is a mathematics mod, so you know that this is equivalent to the fabs function in math module. So math.fabs, math.exp, e, for e we have seen that exp is the function which we use, and in bracket 2 into y which is there at the power, and minus x which is not at the power but inside this fabs function. So that is why we have closed the bracket of this expression, and then minus x, and all inside this fabs. So this is how you can work with different expressions. So time to solve, you can try all this, and you can get the PDF from the blog nopythonbytes.blogspot.com. So always remember that do not figure out big plans at first. So begin slowly, feel up your ground and proceed up and up. Try practically, and of course stay safe, stay aware, stay healthy and stay alert. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.